drink with them. We'll have a drink with them. I'll have one with them. I've got mine. I'm good to go. So we'll have a little whiskey ginger with Andrew Santino and Tony Hinchcliffe on their hit show, Whiskey Ginger. And we never thought we would see this one. This is Tony Hinchcliffe and Santino in the same room. And again, here, when I pull it up, you'll see.
Here, we pour whiskey.
Yes, let's pour one.
Whiskey.
Oh, that creature in the ginger beard.
It's that
Dirty
one.
and ginger.
Like that.
I think that's how they do it.
Gingers are beautiful.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse.
Gingers? Oh, hell no.
This
Here they
whiskey
come.
is excellent.
Ginger. I like gingers.
Cheers, dude. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
brother.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
for
here,
coming.
we'll have the toast with them. I always do this. I poured a big one. So here they are. And again, Jules made the perfect comment. She goes, it's like when you see one of those edits of Joe Rogan talking to himself. It just looks off to see Hinchcliffe and Santino in the same room. I'll have a drink with them. Why not? It's whiskey ginger. We should probably do this every time they do a whiskey ginger. All right, we'll have a little one with them. And we'll look at some of these codes. Today's time codes come from the wonderful Xander. I went ahead and watched this, but I was doing that thing where I was kind of watching in the background, and then I hoped maybe Xander's codes would match up and they would be nice. So let's do that. Let's have our first drink with them. Have one, too.
I like gingers.
Here we go.
Cheers, dude. Cheers,
Cheers,
to you,
guys.
brother. Huh?
Cheers
Thank
to
you
a
for
great
coming.
show.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is Mr. Tony Hinchcliffe, one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean it for you. Thanks for being here, dude.
Ooh, that is
Here we go.
delicious.
You like that?
Yeah.
You know, some of the fans are always bugging. What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
Okay, wait, this is interesting. Here, right off the top, here's the intro here. Tony Hinchcliffe, one of my favorite people, and I say that for everyone, but I mean it for him. Interesting take. And Tony's got his goatee. You could probably see it really nice here. Look at that wicked spread. By the way, you're right. Look at that. Those structure jeans are going to tear right open. We've got Santino with one of the widest spreads here. Again, he doesn't wear distressed jeans. He distresses them himself with the spread. Okay? These started out dark navy. This is all wear from the widespread. Look at that, man. Why must you be so open? All right, let's hear what he says to Tony once again up top here.
Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today is Mr. Tony Hinchcliffe, one of my favorite people on earth. I say that for all my guests, but I mean it for you. Thanks
One of
for
my
being
favorite
here,
people
dude.
on earth. I say that from all I get, but I mean it for you.
Delicious.
You like that?
Yeah.
You know, some of the fans are always bugging. What are you drinking? What are you drinking? Today it's Elijah Craig. Okay?
Oh, how douchey could you be? It's Elijah Craig, okay?
Oh my God,
Idiots.
look at the way he's looking in the camera.
Wow, looking right at me. Yeah, the fans are bugging. I hate these guys. Yeah, they're always like, what are you drinking? Yeah, your show's called Whiskey Ginger, and you always got wheat and whiskey. They want to know. It's not crazy of them. You've built this. Yeah, it's Elijah Craig. Idiots. Oh, what? And we wouldn't know where to get that, would we? Because probably Italy. Look at this. What an asshole. He's got to start out by yelling at everybody right off the bat.
Here, dude.
Ooh, that is delicious.
You like that?
Yeah.
You know, some of the fans are always bugging. What are you
Bugging.
drinking? What are you drinking? Today it's Elijah Craig. Okay? You gonna be okay with that? You gonna bitch about that online too?
Whoa! You gonna be okay with that? You gonna bitch online about that too? It's Elijah Craig. What's Elijah Craig? I gotta see this stuff. Get me a price tag on this. He's a guy who probably lies too. This is a guy who refills bottles and pretends that they're drinking some heavy stuff to impress people.
It's a $34.99. Pretty
$34.99. Wow, Elijah Craig. Crittily. Yes. I'm drinking Elijah Wood, Italy. Yeah. Okay. So here he is. And that was very rude to yell. You going to bitch about that?
Isn't it remarkable how many people talk shit? And you know what's so funny?
Wow. Wait, hold on. I love this. Wow, I wasn't expecting this right off the top.
You like that?
Yeah.
You know, some of the fans are always bugging. What are you drinking? What are you drinking? Today it's Elijah Craig. Okay? You gonna be okay with that? You gonna bitch about that online too? Isn't it remarkable how many people talk shit? And you know what's so funny? I was watching your.
Isn't it remarkable how many people talk shit? Whoa, there shouldn't be that many. It shouldn't be so remarkable. You know? Isn't it remarkable how many people talk shit about us? And Tony's like, oh, whoa.
Also, not that many people talk shit about you. Even
Exactly.
it's just us.
You know, that's what's so weird about this. I watch these guys. It's 90% praise. Like, really. Like, they'll put out this bullshit episode where they do literally nothing. I mean, they sit here and just kind of gab like two idiots. This thing will get 80,000 views, 15,000 likes, and everyone will be like, you guys are amazing, amazing, amazing. And then they'll get one guy that's like, you're a ginger. And he'll be like, it's amazing how many people talk shit.
If we did one episode as boring as this, the Reddit guys
We'd be
would
through.
be beating down our door with
We
a
would
gun.
be through. If Redbar ever did an episode that was like this or like Anthony Cumia's show, we'd be over. They would eat us alive. So, yeah, this isn't so tough. You guys really don't get a lot of hate for how many people you're reaching. It should be a lot more. You know what I mean?
Percentage is very low.
Very low. So you should be okay with this. You should be flying high like you won the lottery. In fact, you have, Santino.
Exactly.
You met Rogan.
90% praise isn't enough. They need more.
They do. They really need more. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of praise compared to the hate. There really is. And again, you hit the nail on that when you said it's just us, really. Nobody else says they hate Hinchcliffe, Chris D'Elia, or Santino. There are very few. I mean, maybe they see it more than we do on those Twitter mentions. Remember, they do check those things all day. So there could be. But wouldn't you... aren't you guys like smart enough where you know, yeah, if the internet hates anybody, they're definitely going to hate us. I mean, look at you. You're just giving them something to hate. I mean, look at your face, Tony Hinchcliffe. Look at that goatee. Look at how you act. Look at you. You're exactly what people would hate. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like internet hate, well, why are you being so pushy with this? You know, of course they're going to hate you. Shocking that anybody likes you. That's where you should be shocked.
Isn't it remarkable how many people talk shit? And you know what's so funny? I was watching your popular, should everyone on here watch it, Kill Tony podcast, and I was watching the live stream. And it's so funny to watch people fight in the live stream, not about the show. It's like, what the fuck are you guys wasting time? Watch the show, enjoy the show. But then people, like, some dude will be like, shut the fuck up. And some dude's like, fuck you. Yeah. And then it inevitably goes to like, suck my dick, motherfucker. It gets in this huge battle, and you're like, they're not even watching the fucking show.
Right.
Like, it's
Right.
What's the point?
Tony's like, well, they're not watching Kill Tony. They're fighting in there. You've seen that? Okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. He's paranoid now. Now he's worried. He didn't know that they're doing that. He's like, yeah, every time I go to watch Kill Tony, nobody's paying attention to your show. They're all just fighting amongst each other. And Tony, for the first, oh, they are? Oh, that's not good. I thought they were all watching. I thought I was king. I thought they loved me. Oh, no, they're all there just to yell nigger at each other. So, sorry, all your views, yeah, they're just there because it's a live chat room, okay? They're not really into it. Look at Tony realizing this for the first time. It's actually very funny.
Fuck you. And then it inevitably goes to like, suck my dick, motherfucker. It gets in this huge battle, and you're like, they're not even watching the fucking show.
Right.
Like, it's
Well, they're not. He said right, but his eyes are so confused. He's like, they're not watching my show? They're playing around while I'm doing my big thing?
And
How dare they?
Can we talk about what kind of shirt Santino is wearing? Because I can't figure it out.
Santino is straight up Marshall, man. I really believe this guy is the Nordstrom Rack president-in-chief because everything Santino wears looks like one of those suspicious Christmas gifts you get from an aunt.
Yes.
Where they get you clothes and you go, oh, you went to Nordstrom Rack and thought I'd think these are real clothes. What a bitch. Have you ever seen this?
It's
where
a
your
brand name, but you've never heard of it.
So many women, it's like I'd rather get nothing than get a gift from TJ Maxx or Nordstrom Rack or Marshalls or Ross. These moms, I remember I dated a girl. Her mom in November would go to Macy's, or she would go to not Macy's, I'm sorry, Marshalls, and buy everyone she knew a Christmas present. Just the cheapest shit she could find. And it's like, what's the fucking point? I don't need some Paul, what do they call that? Sean Paul, not Sean Paul. What's Puff Daddy's brand? It was so stupid.
Not
and they
Roca
sell
wear.
No. But yeah, that's
That
what
kind of
Santino
thing, though.
looks like he dresses with. 'Cause
Sean John.
Sean John, yeah. Santino's got this shirt. It's like, where would you even find this? It's a long sleeve collared shirt. It's got a zippered pocket up here, or a pocket that buttons, but with this black
Kenneth
trim.
Cole is the king of those brands.
Kenneth Cole. Even you'll see stuff by who's that underwear person?
Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein's got a lot of bunk clothes. They both look like they buy their clothes at Marshall's and they think there's no difference between this and the name brand stuff. He looks like a Nordstrom rackist.
And everything that you get at Marshall's was like
Perry
sent
Ellis,
there
yeah.
for some reason. Like if it was good, they would sell it at the normal store, so it must have a wrong stitch or something
Exactly.
like that. That's
Yes.
the reason that it's there.
And you get them again for Christmas. It's like, stop. I don't need your $12 shirt. Nobody's opening this shitty shirt you got me from Marshall's thinking that you actually went to a real store and bought me a shirt. It's insulting.
For girls, it's like a box of lotion and body wash that comes in a kit that someone gives you.
Yes,
and you're
exactly.
like,
A
"Oh,
plastic
thank you."
Daub kit with a zipper, you
Yes,
know.
yes.
Stop. Those gifts are so pathetic. Get someone a real gift from a real store at retail price that's not on sale. How about this? If you gift somebody something that was on sale, you're a piece of shit. You shouldn't be allowed to give a sale item as a gift, or a marked down item, or something that has 8 price tags stuck over on top of each other because it's been marked down. So you know what that shows me? It shows me, no, this was an L. This was an item the store wasn't able to sell. That's why it's at Marshall's. So you're getting me something no one wanted. Just give me the $12, okay? At least I could get a hamburger. You know? But really, moms need to stop doing this. And it's okay if you open something, go, hi, can I see this is what I do. I open a present, I go, yeah, can I see the receipt? Before even giving a reaction. And the woman's like, okay, you know, hands me. Marshall's just as suspected. No, that's okay. You can keep that. Thank you so much. Thanks. It was good seeing you. Thanks. Hi, how are you? Yeah. Talk to somebody else. It's so insulting. Let's tell our aunts and moms. It's not, you know, they get it in their head. See, they get proud of themselves. They go there and they go, oh, you're not going to believe it. I got my Christmas shopping done in 1 hour. I went to Marshall's. I got presents for 36 people. Yeah, that feels good for you. You think you've really done it. But does it feel good to one of the 36 when they're opening their, Kenneth Cole reaction sample tester bottle of cologne? Come on. We don't need that. Oh, cool. Soap and some underwear that couldn't even make it into the halls of Target.
Someone said a McDonald's gift certificate. That would legitimately be better.
That would be better. Please, you're not getting any deals. And Marshall's marks stuff up even higher. I went to Marshall's. I was waiting for an Uber after going to a specific vape shop. And I remember this. I go, you know what? I'll go into Marshall's real quick. I was about to go on a trip, and I go, maybe they'll have just a new suitcase. I need a new suitcase. Maybe they'll have something. And here's what I noticed. They did have suitcases there. Double what they would probably charge retail price. So what they do at Marshall's, they mix in stuff that's actually more expensive than you would buy it at a real store, and that kind of makes up for their low prices. I'm seeing luggage there, just little carry-ons, $200 at Marshall's. No. I don't care what it is. I'm not spending $200 on anything at Marshall's.
In Canada, it's called Winners, basically.
Winners?
Yeah. Basically the same idea as Marshall's, and then they started doing a luxury section where you could get like a Gucci bag for like $100 off $2,000, and it's like nobody's buying that at Winners.
No one. Winners. Kenneth Cole victim's reaction to rape allegations, says Xander. Yes. Okay. Let's go back to these guys. Yeah, they're looking very structured, very Marshall's, very, I would say this Santino, he's a Nordstrom rack guy. Okay. He thinks and he might be a Nordstrom guy. It's not that Nordstrom isn't much nicer than the rack, to be honest.
No.
You go into the actual Nordstrom, it's not like, ooh, here's the fancy stuff. It's all this shit. All right, let's hear from him.
What's the point?
Yeah.
But I think the thing with like the balance of the internet with podcasts now has become those people get weeded out by real fans.
Wow.
Because real
Listen to
fans don't
this.
have time for it. They're like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Real fans don't have time for the haters. They're like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. They don't have time for this shit. I don't know. They would if you didn't delete every fucking thing that we've ever wrote. What other haters are around? I've never seen any of their fans tell the haters to get the fuck out of here. So this is interesting that they're opening with this.
The balance of the internet with podcasts now has become those people get weeded out by real fans because real fans don't have time for it. They're like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like I'll find that when someone talks shit on something, like my fans or even other people's fans will just be like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
No, they don't.
And they'll push them out.
Has anyone ever been pushed out by a Santino fan? Never.
Press 1 if you've been confronted by a fan.
Never, ever, ever. I've made fun of Santino for weeks. Nothing's ever happened. I've never had anyone come to Santino's defense, ever. Dane Cook, yes. Allie Makovsky, yes. Go look at that Allie Makovsky YouTube video. She's got a little fan base of guys. That Allie Makovsky, remember she did that lie where she said, this guy's tattoo said, excuse me while I kiss the sky, but it read like, excuse me while I kiss this guy. And we're like, wow, she lied. That's something that would only sound similar, not look similar. And she's got like a fan base of all guys that really came to her defense. The clip's up to, I don't know, thousands of views, and people they're really coming after me. But not Santino's fan base. Santino's fan base don't do shit. He's thinking of somebody else.
Someone talks shit on something, like my fans or even other people's fans will just be like, dude, get the fuck out of here. And they'll push them out, from being a part of it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of incredible. It's like the growth of the community it's wild. I mean, you've seen it, dude, since how long has Kill Tony been going on?
No. Yeah, here's a good comment. They're saying Tony legit thinks he has a Robert Downey Jr. look. Yes. Oh, yeah. He really did grow like a Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man style mustache and goatee. It's extreme. And he really thinks he's taken on the world by storm. I saw someone in there saying earlier, Mike was right. Do not buy black shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, I said this to a listener. All black shoes, they make you look like Beavis. Beavis and Butthead had all black little booties. Because all you see is a black little fish, a black little blob. There's really nothing much to it there. The eyes can't focus on it. So I think an all black shoe just looks really terrible. It looks like you're wearing like a piece of coal, on your foot. Very Beavis and Butthead. They just had a black little whoop. Like a U, a sideways U. You don't want to look like that. Black shoes are for slaves, says someone. Thank you. Now let's hear some more.
6 years.
Okay, when I first did Kill Tony, I don't even remember when I first did it. But like
I'm crunk now.
The different, you've seen the growth, right? Like you've seen like it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And to watch it happen from my perspective as a comic and a friend, I think what's incredible is you see fans that like really want to fucking be a part of that thing. I mean, with yours, it's special. If people don't know, it's incredible. It's a live show at the Comedy Store.
How is any of these comedian podcasts, like, who's watching this? Like, who is it for? Because it's only them kind of, like, it would only be good if you were a comedian, too. Like, these are conversations that two comedians should be having in private on their ride home from a club on a Saturday night at 2 a.m. These are conversations that you should be having at IHOP amongst your peers, but where does the audience come in? What does the audience get out of,
if it was
hearing
somebody,
about their...
Like, say you're a huge fan of Kanye, you would listen to Kanye do a podcast about anything, even if he was just talking about nothing.
Yeah.
So is it that they think that their fans are so dedicated to them that they can literally talk about nothing and they'll still hang on?
Yeah, how great it is that people love them. I mean, the stuff that they're saying, it's just like, whenever I see two comedians do this, it's like, hey, let's try to convince each other that we're not unhappy. So let's tell each other how great our lives are, when it's clearly never the case. Let's hear a little bit more.
Store, they invite a guest on. I've done it a bunch. And each, Tony and Brian Redband, they do a little bit of time and fuck around and talk and do a regular podcast, and then they pick names out of a hat for people to come do Is it 1 minute?
Yep.
It's
60 seconds.
60 seconds, baby.
Yeah.
And then
we
you
talked about-
get the kitty. Meow.
Yeah.
And then you're fucked. And then you're off.
Then it's it.
And then that's it. And then Tony and Redban and whoever the guest is. I mean, this is what's interesting is I used to think I was like, man, I wonder if they're shitting on that person. But 9 times out of 10, it's not shitting on the person. It's having fun with them.
Yeah.
Unless they're a dick.
Yeah.
And then they get fucking
It's
wrecked.
Right
always-
now, cut to all the times Tony shits on people. It's more like 8 out of 10 times it is just Tony shitting on the person because he's jealous or having an issue, a personal issue. All right, let's get to Xander's time codes. That was the intro there. Good stuff. Let's go to 320. Tony scratches his foot. Then Santino instantly scratches his leg. Uh-oh. This is some petty shit. So we've got some extreme mirroring going on here. This is great. No other show will bring stuff like this to you. 320. Tony scratches his foot. Then Santino scratches his leg. Wow. Interesting. Okay. 320. I can't wait to see this. So we've got a scratch stealing going on here. This is big. I don't allow stuff like this. Okay, Tony's going to scratch his leg. Whoa, this is big.
Ghosty elements to it. 'Cause,
Totally.
Like, that's my,
That's you.
go-to. It's just one
And
of
kind of Brian sometimes, which is
Yeah,
weird.
yeah,
like
he's great at
Redman
it.
doesn't seem like that guy,
Yeah.
but then when he pulls out shit, you're like,
Here comes the
"Oh."
scratch.
He's got it all on the computer, right?
Okay, so there it was. I think Tony was scratching his ankle. Did you see it? Just right down there. Yeah, there it was.
Go-to. It's just one
And
of
kind of Brian sometimes, which is
Yeah,
weird.
yeah,
Like,
he's great at
Scratch.
it.
Redman doesn't
There's the
seem like that
scratch.
guy,
Yeah.
but then when he pulls out
Okay,
shit,
there's the scratch. Now let's look at Santino. Does Santino scratch his leg?
you're like, oh, fuck.
Oh, he's got it all on the computer right in front of him.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
researching
fucking
nerd.
people and queuing up music.
Oh, wow, they must have bed bugs. Shut up. So Santino's now got an itch. Wow, itchy boys. Interesting. Okay, 4 minutes. Tony fidgets with his wedding ring. Then Santino fidgets with his finger as if he has a ring on it. Wow. This should be rich. Okay, these are fun. These are
I
good
know,
notes.
the pettier, the more.
The
I love
pettier,
it.
the better. Okay, so Tony is going to fidget with his wedding ring, and then Santino to mirror. This is mirroring at an all-time high. Santino's just going to fidget with a finger as if there's a ring on it. This is crazy. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more
So then
balanced.
by the time we're in that part, it's sort of like
There was the Tony finger fidget. He adjusts his wedding band. Santino sees this and goes, I'm going to adjust my wedding band, but I don't even have one. Yes, I'm a mirror.
I think
Chop open mic they're going to do the next night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more
So
balanced.
then by the time we're
Tony?
in that part, it's sort of like a race for me to
And then he
figure
does-
out interesting stuff about them or find out,
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean,
Oh
when you-
my God, he mirrors. Okay, he has like a thing. Like this is a disorder.
serious disease.
So Tony went like this, and then Santino went like this and stopped as soon as Tony was done. Did you see that? It's like he just needs to do whatever the other person
he has
does.
like OCD almost.
Yeah,
like he can't
it's almost
stop
like an
himself
OCD
from
thing.
doing
Yeah,
it.
this is real mirroring. Look at
do
this.
the next night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more
So then
balanced.
by the time we're in that part,
Fidget,
it's sort of like
and
a
then
race
fidget.
for me to figure
Almost
out
instantly.
interesting stuff
Look at
about
that.
them or find
And then
out,
watch.
you
As soon
know?
as
Yeah, it's
Tony's
interesting.
done,
I mean,
so is he. Holy fuck! That should be a clip. Yeah, people are going, what the fuck? He has a mirroring disorder. Mirroring matters. He's sick. This is autismal. Weird. People are saying, yeah, this is extra.
So Xander had to watch this like 5 times, his eyes scanning every inch of the screen to catch
exactly.
mirrors.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that.
It's like one of those things. Wow, this is damning. What an asshole. Put him in an institution. This is psychotic. This is spooky. He's a reflection of a reflection. Something is terribly wrong. Okay, I can't wait to see the next one. 2225, Tony brags about his vast knowledge of airplane crashes and how they happen. This is interesting. More pilot talk coming up. 2225, let's see what happens here. 2225. What a great tape. You know what? I'm going to have another drink with them. You guys want to have one? Let's have oh, you got a little queer. Look at that. To whiskey ginger, guys. What are you drinking? Italy. That's what we call this drink here today. The Italy. And cheers to these guys. They've always got a little layer, a pancake's width of whiskey at the bottom of their glass. So we'll cheers to them, to Whiskey Ginger. Italy.
It's not gonna fucking turbulence is not gonna crash your plane.
Right.
It's all the other shit that's gonna crash the fucking plane.
Yeah.
It's a computer's malfunctioning. It's a weird takeoff.
Oh, this
it's
was
an
good.
imbalance of weight in the plane. It's all that shit they have to worry about.
Listen to Santino. This is just like Andrew Schultz. Listen to Santino's take on turbulence.
Oh, yeah, I think maybe you can go back a couple more minutes because remember that other plane thing he was talking about that was super hack?
Yeah, how many minutes back was it?
I think it was right before this.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got here. So they're talking about turbulence. And remember, two comics talking about airplane stuff. That's, boy, are my arms tired type of stuff.
Zoo. Like it's
Here
like,
it comes.
here's the poor people.
Take pictures on the way in. The poor people is in one.
Right.
No, that's like if you ever fly certain. I don't. This is such a non. It's such a non-American thing, and but you know we don't do this shit. But certain countries around the world, if it's like a bumpy flight, they clap when you. Have you ever been on a flight where they clap when you land?
It drives me crazy.
Mexico,
So, breaking news. Have
That's
you
what
ever
I was
been on a
talking
flight where they clap when it lands? Have you ever been in a movie where they clap at the end? We've heard. We've heard. It's been discussed, and everyone's aware. You know what I mean? It's like, so what take... I love how Andrew Santino thinks he's got a clean, new, fresh take on this type of stuff.
by the way, the two times I've had bad turbulence going into Mexico, in different parts of Mexico, they clapped and they lost it. I mean, they were like, people were praising Jesus and shit. And I was like, what?
It's always
Jesus
like
didn't save the fucking plane. Science did.
It's always
Whoa!
the trashy cities or the trash.
Jesus didn't save the fucking plane. Science did. Wow. And they're saying this with this. Imagine if you saw a tape of me really having it out about these basic topics.
Trashy people that are obviously going to do that. Like you can almost predict the
Because they've never
ones-
flown before.
Oh,
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the first time on an airplane.
Fuck yeah, you guys are way better than most commoners, right?
So you think
Losers.
Mexicans are poor?
Losers, huh? You guys are the fly masters,
we were
right?
watching MasterChef Kids the other day, and one of the kids went, "I'm Mexican," and Mike burst out laughing.
Oh my God, yeah. So this is interesting. Yeah, there was a little kid on MasterChef Junior, and she looked white, so this is why it was shocking. And it was a little kid, and she's like, "So I am going to be making the cupcakes, and I'm Mexican, so they're definitely..." And we both burst out laughing when she said, "I'm Mexican." And then we go, wait, we're just laughing at somebody because they're
We
Mexican?
had to have an hour discussion figuring that out.
Because hearing somebody say, "I'm Mexican," almost sounds like a slam. It almost sounds like, "Oh, don't say that about yourself. You're not Mexican. You're fine." And then I was thinking, oh, you know what? Maybe it's because people don't say that. Like, Mexican people don't really say, "I'm Mexican." Man, I'm Mexican. I mean, that sounds bad. They always say this: "I am from Mexico." Hello, I am from Mexico. So, being from Mexico, I blah, 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 blah. But they never go, "I'm Mexican." It
Sounds like a
sounds bad. It
slur.
sounds like you're saying I'm like poor or something. Yeah, I'm Mexican.
Anyways,
So that was interesting. Okay, so they're talking about this. They think they know better than everybody else. Here you're going to hear Santino drop some knowledge about how, did you know turbulence can't even take down a plane? Yeah. Yeah, we've heard.
So when it hits a bump, you go, yeah, turbulence, wind, pressure.
Yeah.
Sure. They go, the devil. The devil just hit the plane. The
Right.
devil just hit the plane.
They don't do that.
Like they think. I think that the funniest thing about like this with these plane crashes with those Boeings, the funniest thing is every pilot will tell you it's not gonna turbulence is not gonna crash your plane.
Right.
It's all the other shit that's gonna crash the fucking plane. It's a
Oh,
computer's
never heard this take before.
And also, just because they're praying doesn't mean that they think the devil hit the plane. They're just praying for God to
Yeah,
save them
they don't
from
want
the
to die.
turbulence,
Yeah,
obviously.
sorry. Not everybody's going to Poughkeepsie
They
to
know
do
a plane is run by science.
Hamilton's ha-has.
malfunctioning. It's a weird takeoff. It's an imbalance of weight in the plane. It's all that shit they have to
You're
worry about.
mansplaining.
But like
Mansplaining to Tony is only going to lead to a giant malfunction, between you two.
They
Two
really
guys
don't have chemistry, by the way.
No, and you know what? Here's the thing, though, about Tony. Tony doesn't have any chemistry with anybody on podcasts, when you think about it. He's not a conversationalist. He is a sayer.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be in conversation with anybody.
He's a roaster, for God's sake.
So it really doesn't work with Santino. You'll see there's just a lot of Tony going, yeah. because he's not capable of really having a conversation with people.
A bump in the sky, it's always so weird when people are like, it's like, dude, that's not gonna. If you think that's it, you're crazy. It's an engine will fail before the bump in the sky will fucking do anything to us.
Never happens, by the way. I actually know about this because I'm obsessed with flying planes.
What? Are you serious? It's Tony the pilot. He's obsessed with flying airplanes. Can you believe it? The cat's out of the bag. What will we learn here today? Does anyone remember this song? Tony is my airplane. He is just an airplane. All right, let's hear this. He's obsessed with airplanes. Wow. Now, I wonder if this was recorded before. I think it was. This, because Santino records like 2 weeks ahead of time, then puts him out.
Can we match up this outfit with another pic of him?
Yeah, there you go. Can we match up this outfit to find a date? I believe this was recorded before Brian Redban outed him as the pilot thing. Because otherwise, anytime they brought up planes today, he would feel very awkward. So I think this was probably recorded 1 week before the pilot thing. Maybe Redban saw this and was like, oh, Tony wants to be a pilot. Maybe this will give us some insight as to why he flipped out about this pilot thing. Let's see. Oops.
I actually know about
pause
this
for a
because I'm
sec.
obsessed with
Yeah.
flying planes.
In this episode, doesn't Tony say something about how last night's Kill Tony show was the one where they were dressed up as 80s comedians? That
There
gives
you
us
go.
a clue.
There you go. So see when they did 80s comedians, then you'll get the date for when this was recorded.
The sky will fucking do anything to us.
Never happens.
Let's
by
hear
the way.
him about
I actually know
airplanes.
about this because I'm obsessed with flying planes.
Oh, really?
I know how every plane crash. Now I'm learning about private plane crashes,
About-
but I already
Whoa.
know about every commercial plane crash.
This
That's
is really
ever
funny
happened.
because, you know,
I
I got
already know about every commercial plane crash that's already happened. Those were real words out of the man's mouth. I already know about every commercial plane crash that's ever happened, so now I'm on to private plane crashes. Really? You know about every commercial plane crash?
This was before the Red
It
Band
was
outing,
before.
by the
Okay,
way.
so we have that proven. So this was before he was outed for the pilot thing.
plane crashes, but I already know about every commercial plane crash.
This is really funny because, you know, I got really into it when I first started traveling because I was curious. I was like, I wonder what really does take down planes. Because I was coming, I've told this story before, but I'll quickly say I was leaving Indianapolis and I was going to New York. And dude, the weather was so fucking bad outside. I was like, they'll never take off. It was a jumper plane. You know, those like two seats, one seats. It was a tiny little.
Talking about planes. Let's jump to 2610. Tony talks about wanting to learn to be a pilot. Look at this. 2610, Tony the pilot. Interesting. 2610. Okay, I can't wait to hear what he says here.
Safely.
it's
So wait, tell me this.
Yeah.
You looked up all this shit about airplanes because you were like on them so much that you're like, you just want to know. So you got into you wanted to know about private flights and shit and why they crash?
actually what happened is I started thinking about how cool it would be to fly and learn how to fly
Get your license,
and go
yeah.
from gig to gig and
Wow.
eventually down the road take friends and just, you know,
That'd be fucking
not
awesome.
smoke pot or drink that morning and you know, just do it, just work it like it's a real thing. Because I started thinking about it like it's like if it's a car, because once I realized that if you have a place to land and you have a place to take off and you have a plane, then you can go anywhere.
Yeah. Well, those single engine Cessnas, have you ever flown in those? Like the Cessnas, the one engine planes? I
So
spent
you know nothing about planes. Okay, good. So that's why he wants to be a pilot, so he could be a big badass going city to city with his own little plane. I'm sure it'll be just as easy as that, right? Just hop in just like a car. Wow, these guys are really delusional. So Tony's making a little bit more money than he was, and now he thinks he's ready to buy a plane. The first comic with his own plane flying gig to gig.
So if my
Tony
research is
Hinchcliffe.
correct, the Red Band outing happened this evening, the night of this interview.
Wow.
So what changed
So
between
this interview
here-
happened where he seems comfortable talking about being a pilot, and then Redban brings it up. Maybe they all made fun of Tony in between those two things, and Redban was bringing it up to make fun of him, and he's like, fuck all of you. I am going to be a pilot. I don't know. Let's see some more. 3450. Tony gives a deeply profound thought on the mindfuck that is airport employees. Okay. These are time codes from Xander here today. We haven't checked these out, but they've been pretty good so far. Let's go to 3450. Remember, coming up after this, a Santino secret from Danny Woodward. Danny Woodward was at the Theo Vaughn show. He talked to Theo Vaughn about Andrew Santino. We have the tapes. What did Theo Vaughn say about Andrew Santino? That coming up right after this. 3450. Let's check this out. This is Tony talking about airport employees. 3450. Let's hear what he's got to say.
You're in control of this whole crazy. So everything you see and are smelling and feeling,
And all
in
by
your
himself,
gut.
right? No, it was so
Yeah.
funny. He said nobody was on it.
Yeah. Well, they never expected anybody to ever do anything like that. That's why it is there. I've always thought that a lot when looking at the people at the airports that are there at 6 a.m. doing, throwing bags and the thing. Like,
Right.
the airport's always been such an intriguing place to me because they're so close to being somewhere else, yet they're there. You know?
Yeah.
And
And they're going nowhere.
it is a crazy gig because and not only that, but they're also surrounded by people all day that are coming from somewhere or going somewhere.
Yeah,
It's one or
constantly.
the other. No one else just goes there. Only the employees of an airport just go there and then leave. Everybody else.
I think about that all the time about who works in an airport. Every time I go and I have a drink or something to eat, I'm always like, who is this person?
Yeah.
Where do they come from? What's the because of all the places to try to get a gig, it's weird to go. I guess I'll
Yeah,
try.
it's not a gig. It's normal people call working a job. Not everything's a gig. Okay? Yeah, who are these people that work at airports? What kind of gig is this? Yeah, it's a weird gig to take. It's a job! Most people need them to survive. Great insight. All right, 4258. Tony indirectly reveals that he isn't good enough for Netflix. Wow, 4258.
Oh, and this is an interesting part. Santino's thoughts on YouTube.
Coming up.
I think that's at the same time code, if I remember correctly.
4258. Yeah, okay, let's listen to this.
Prime spot right now in stand up. What's happening between the podcast doing so well, your own stand up kind of converging and doing very well, and gaining a lot of fans and touring more? And do you feel like this is kind of the thing that's happening right now?
Yeah,
timing-wise?
man. I mean, I love it. I'm ready to make another special and figure out exactly where the best platform to get that out on is.
What is that, you think?
I don't know, dude. It might be frickin' YouTube, bro.
Who knows, right?
I think. I mean, who knows?
That's the most fucked up thing now is I don't think any of us know what the best way to receive content is for fans.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, you wish there was another YouTube type of thing. Right, that there was one more version of YouTube that was a little bit more premium, and because YouTube tried that, it didn't work because you can't give away pussy for so long and then be like, you got to pay for it. You're like, I've been fucking you for years, bitch. I'm not paying for that.
What?
So I wish there was another version of it that fans were able to dictate. Because I think
You wish there was another version of YouTube that people had to pay for that fans were able to dictate. Interesting. What does this mean?
What does that
You
even
wish
mean?
there was another version of YouTube that people had to pay for and fans were able to dictate. Interesting. Let's hear.
I think with the revolution of so many comics wanting to put out more material, and Netflix kind of being, Netflix. It's like there's so much now with them. I wonder what the next wave is going to be.
It reminds
I wish I was
me
smart
of.
enough.
Do you remember when? This is pro wrestling, so people are gonna hate it. But there was
Nah,
a
they'll
period
like
of
it.
time in which Ted Turner.
Okay. And let's see this. Double check 56 minutes. Santino making fun of girls with plastic surgery.
Oh, yeah, this was my time code, but I just realized I didn't check it. That's why it
Yeah,
says double
to
check. So
see,
go to
okay.
55, maybe.
Okay, let's see. 55. Santino making fun of people who get cosmetic surgery. Funny enough, he got a hair transplant.
A specimen. That dude's like a machine body.
Yeah.
He's a machine body. It's a very weird. It's like it was specially built by our Neanderthal forefathers.
Oh, they're talking about Rogan
when he
here.
says he's like, I'm an ape. I'm an ape. You're like, yeah, dude, 100%.
I believe him.
I totally believe every second of it.
His hand is like.
They're talking about Rogan.
Comes out.
It's like a
to
fucking
the
baseball mitt.
sides.
It looks like a fucking curled up. Look at when you close a fucking baseball mitt. So you would change beef size.
I
wonder
guess
what-
so. I never really.
Oh, wait, this is good. They're going, if you could get plastic surgery, what would you do? And Tony said, I would take steroids so I could beef up. Let's hear this. Let's see if we can catch that. This is pretty good.
Specimen. Like it looked.
Right. Here. Let me just back
Beef.
up.
Sort of have like.
Here we go.
If money didn't matter, if you like,
Here.
it's like the triangle. You pick 2 of the 3.
Right.
You can't have all 3.
Here it
The
comes.
only way that surgery would have worked is if he would have donated all his money away right before to charitable causes.
Right. If he's like, this is for kids for cancer. I also want a huge cock.
Yeah.
Then it would have worked.
Here it comes.
Yeah, but the guy fucking died. What's the one thing that you would get surgery done on you to fix yourself?
What's the one thing you would do to get surgery to fix yourself? Let's see. This is a good thing to answer publicly.
If money didn't matter, if you're like, the one thing I wish I could change, I would do that.
I don't know, man.
Say nothing
I guess
and show
I'd
how
probably-
strong you
No,
are.
I guess I'd probably do some. I guess I'd probably go with some like HGH, thicken up a bit.
Whoa!
Sort of have like
Yeah.
sort of have like this, aerodynamic frame.
I like that.
I'd like to be more of like a. You have
Aerodynamic
more
for
of
the
like a man
skies.
body. Like I would
Wow, he goes, you have more of like a man body. I want something like that. Holy shit. Imagine wanting Santino's body as another guy.
dynamic frame.
I like that.
I'd like to be more of like a. You have more of like a man body. Like I would probably beef up a bit.
Get the beef going.
Yeah.
But you could do that.
I could.
It's
I'd
a lot
have
of
to,
effort.
Squat and stuff. I don't know.
It's a lot of
Wow.
fucking effort.
Joe tells me that I'd have to squat a lot to be. Sometimes I.
I can hear Joe
sometimes
going,
I'll be-
Wait, so you and Joe are talking about what you'd have to do if you took steroids? So he's going, well, I don't want to take steroids because you still have to work out on top of it, which, yeah, you do. You don't just take them and then start growing muscles. You have to work out. It's giving you the strength to just work out more. So him and Joe were talking about what you'd have to do if you took steroids. So Joe Rogan is definitely on roids or wants to take roids. And this is what they discuss. Interesting.
Joe tells me that I'd have to squat a lot to be. Sometimes I
can hear Joe
sometimes
going,
I'll be
"You
silly.
gotta squat a lot, dude."
Sometimes I'll try to like make him laugh. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, Joe, what do you think I'd have to do to?
Somebody says, wow, aerodynamic frame. That's a Theo Vaughn joke. He's stealing.
Wow.
So Theo Vaughn said aerodynamic frame before. Tony's heard this, and now that's part of his vocab. Interesting.
like have a body like his.
He's like, you could never achieve this. I think Joe said to us the other day, Rogan said to Tony and I that he's 56% more ape than most humans.
Yikes.
He's more Neanderthal.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you look at him and you hang out with him,
he's just short and stocky and ripped.
And this is what he's talking to them about backstage on his tour.
I'm more ape than no. You're short, bald, and you constantly work out. So yeah, you look like a little gorilla. That doesn't mean that you're 58% more ape than people. It means, no, you're just short and stocky like a gorilla, kind of. Because a gorilla is stockier than it is tall, right? So that's the idea behind Joe Rogan being an ape. Joe thinks he has like ape blood. Oh, no. You just look like one. A monkey with wrenches, right?
and when you're close to Joe, you totally agree. Because you're like, you are a specimen. Like, that dude's like a machine body.
Yeah.
He's a machine body. It's a very weird, it's like, it was specially built by our Neanderthal forefathers.
Neanderthal.
But he says, he's like, I'm an ape. You're like, yeah, dude, 100%.
I believe him.
I totally believe every second of it.
His hand is like it comes out.
Okay,
It's
so
like a
then
fucking
the
baseball mitt.
sides.
It looks like
right
a fucking...
after this is where we started. They're going to get into Santino dissing plastic surgery, even though he has plastic surgery, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
curled up. Look at when
He got
close a
lipo,
fucking
too.
Baseball mitt. So you would change beef size.
I
wonder
guess so. I never really.
If you're happy with everything, that's a good place to
I'm
be.
Pretty happy guy.
Because we live in a town where everybody wants to do everything all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Really?
And half the women here, which I guess we're lucky, but so many women you see, they have so much done to them that you're like, who are you anymore? Your fucking face looks like it's someone else. You know how I've said this
Interesting.
before, and this is terrible and mean, but you know how like every kid with Down syndrome has a Down syndrome face?
yeah, for sure.
It's like every woman who gets plastic surgery, they have the same
Yeah.
face. It's like the exact, you're like, oh, you look the exact, I've seen you before.
Yeah.
Like I know you. I don't know yet, but I
Okay.
know that face.
Very sharp words from a guy who's received plastic surgery. Remember, a hair transplant is plastic surgery. There's no getting around that. All right, so there they were together. A few quick notes. Thank you, Xander,
I
for
just
those.
like thinking